were together for an event to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, Secretary Gonzalez introduced me as the first Hispanic governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. I'm glad he didn't today, because judging by that speech, I think he is going to be the first Hispanic governor. Let me say on behalf of myself and the Lieutenant Governor, the very best partner a governor could hope to have. Yes, indeed. How much we appreciate the service of Secretary Gonzalez, Secretary Revel, our Education Secretary who's here, Secretary Violecki, who is also here, who is in charge of housing and economic development, and many members of our team who are assembled here today, how much we appreciate you and honor you, not just on Hispanic Heritage Month, but every day, every day. And I'm happy to see, and not surprised, so many of our colleagues from the legislature sitting here and nodding their heads, because they get your value too. And I'm so glad you're all here as well. Madam Mayor, thank you for coming as well. I want to acknowledge and thank the leadership of the Massachusetts Latino Chamber of Commerce and the Hispanic American Chamber of Commerce, who I'm going to say a little bit more about in a minute. But thank you for bringing us all together today. And good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to the State House. It's your house, after all. It's your house, and you're welcome here. We are marking the occasion of Hispanic Heritage Month this year by honoring the extraordinary success of Latino small businesses. And I so appreciate the Secretary's own personal testimonial. I have visited many small businesses of every type and kind in the Commonwealth, including many Hispanic-owned or Latino-owned small businesses. And I hope you understand, if you have not already, by walking through the exhibit behind us, how committed we all are, and if I may say this on behalf of the administration and the legislature, in doing what we can to encourage you and enable you to help yourselves. And I just want to take a second and build off of the comments that the Secretary made. Right now, the whole question of the role of government and the role of government as an enabler of the American dream itself is up for grabs. It's up for grabs. All kinds of things we used to take for granted, like access to a great school, like the notion that investing in infrastructure, roads, rails, bridges, broadband access, was something that was good for all of us. Like the notion that we ought to make a way for people who need not a hand out, but a hand up. The idea that we were a member of community is up for grabs. Something about community, I think, is well understood among Hispanics, Latinos. The way I learned about community growing up on the south side of Chicago. In those days, when we didn't have much, but when every child was under the jurisdiction of every single adult on the block. So if you messed up down the street in front of Miss Jones, she'd go right upside your head as if you were hers. And then call home. So you got it 2 times. What those adults were trying to get across to us was that they had a stake in us. And that being a member of a community is understanding the stake every one of us has, not just in our own dreams and our own struggles, but in our neighbors as well. Government is just the name we give to the things we choose to do together. And it is always within bounds, to ask ourselves what things we should choose to do together. I totally get that. But the notion that there are some things we must do together ought to be out of bounds. Unless we're prepared to walk away from a sense of community altogether. I have a feeling among this group that you get that fundamental idea about the value the necessity, the essence of community. I know so many of you who are appointees in this administration bring that sense to your work. And I'm enormously grateful for that, more to the point the people of the Commonwealth are grateful for that. But I ask you in this season, to reflect on how important it is that we reaffirm that idea of community. And I know this is a nonpartisan event, but there are elections coming up in November where you get to make a choice. And I'm telling you and asking you, choose wisely. Choose wisely. There are all kinds of ways in which